Good morning, Earthlings. How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. I hope you're doing well out there in the world, wherever you are, whether it's Utah or Idaho or the UK or France, Germany, Australia, Colorado, wherever you are in the world today listening to the show. Thanks for being here, and let's jump into our cosmic weather for today. All right, cosmic weather. Seeing what the energy around us is doing. We've got solar wind blowing down upon the Earth at 366.9 kilometers per second. Planetary K-index is at a 1. However, you could see that within the next 24 hours, it could get as high as a 5. Now remember, this scale goes only up to a 9. So if it gets up to a 5, that's certainly past the halfway point, and it means that we're getting up to there in some pretty heavy-duty storms. All right, we could see that our coronal holes are minimal. We don't see that big one that we used to see. Could be on the backside of the sun we're not seeing. Chance for an M-class flare is a 55% chance, just like the other day. X-class flare goes up a little bit from 1% to 5%. And geomagnetic storm activity active in the mid-latitudes about 15%. And in the high latitudes, 25% you're going to have something active, 10% that is going to actually be severe. All right, and we have notice of a new sunspot as it pops and crackles with low-level solar flares. Sunspot AR 1504 is rapidly evolving. During the past 24 hours, the active region has shape-shifted from an irregular dumbbell into a dark ring of magnetism, wide enough to circumscribe half-dozen planet Earths. Half-dozen planet Earths. That's a lot of Earths. So 6 of them, huh? 6 Earths could fit in that space. That's pretty amazing. All right, then our geomagnetic storm says is subsiding, which is what we just talked about. Minor geomagnetic storm that crested during the opening hours of June 12th is subsiding. At its maximum, it ranked 5 on the 0 to 9 scale. Skies turned purple over here over New Brunswick, and now it is back down, but it could jump back up. All right. Astrologically, dealing with the same sun sign, so it's the same conscious mind idea. The sun sign is Gemini. Gemini is air. Air is about communication, words, actions, the way we express ourselves. So those are the conscious mind issues that we're dealing with during the period of Gemini, and that's represented by the sun, which is the conscious mind. And then we go here and we look, today's the 12th, at the moon. The moon is in Aries. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, so we're back to the beginning phase here. Aries is a fire sign. So what we're looking at when we look at this energy, I know they have fancy names like Aries and Taurus and all this other stuff, but basically all these are representations of energy. So Aries represents the energy of fire. This particular energy of fire is pioneering, creative. There are a lot of ideas coming out of it. The planet involved and associated here is Mars. Mars is a planet, it's called planet of aggression on one hand because the energy color is red. The energy can be real aggressive. However, if it's channeled properly, it could not be aggressive, but could actually be passionate. So the way we use fire and energy is very important. So we've got the conscious mind, which is air, and the unconscious mind today, which is fire. It'll be like this again tomorrow. So the next 2 days, got fire brewing underneath, looking for a way to communicate itself. So have a notebook handy, pen, paper. Maybe you might get some great ideas you need to express, write down. Go ahead and do it. And moving right along, our current moon phase, 39% full. We're on our way back down. And the Mayan Oracle shows us that we're at a two-tone day, so we've made it to the second position on this wave spell of timelessness. The second position is represented here by the 2 tones or 2 dots. This is the second tone. It's called the lunar tone of challenge. The second tone is after the first tone splits apart. Now you got 2 of them, so the challenge is maintaining that balance of the 1 became the 2 as it's split. So it's finding its balance in all different ways. The supporting cast members, you've got the serpent, which is the challenge for today, how we use our life force energy. The like-minded energy is the ability to plant seeds. So the ideas that we have is good. The underlying energy, the hidden power, the occult, which just means hidden, is the world bridger, teaches us about life and death. The guide for today above is the hand, which is all about accomplishment, healing. We can use our hand to kill. We can use our hands to heal. It's all up to us and the way we choose to use that energy. And then, of course, the kin right in the middle, our day kin, same here, is the eagle. And the eagle is all about vision. All about vision. So today would be a lunar eagle guided by the hand. Phrase for today is I polarize in order to create stabilizing mind. I seal the output of vision with the lunar tone of challenge. I am guided by the power of accomplishment. On the Gregorian calendar, it is the 12th of June, 2012. All right. There you go. That's our cosmic weather. So as you're out in the world today working with your energy, you know, one thing comes to mind I just want to throw out there. With astrology and other esoteric sciences like tarot cards, Mayan calendar, I Ching, runes, there is a feeling out there that using any of these things, you're working with the tools of the devil. And a lot of that misunderstanding is because people feel that they're supposed to give up the power to those things. And that's completely inaccurate, all of it. These sciences are all called, for lack of a better phrase in our society, occult sciences. Occult is a word which means that which is hidden. That's all it means, that which is hidden. And if you look at the history of our planet, you're going to find that even though the general public, the general population is often discouraged from engaging in these practices, it does not stop those who are in the hierarchies. The kings, the queens, the princes, the presidents, the heads of the churches, the popes, you know, all of those who are really moving forward are moving forward with these energies, these ideas. And it's all about energy. But don't get confused and think that any of these things have to do with ruling over you, because that's not true. You don't give your power up to anybody. Nothing is coming in to take your power from you. It's just like when you go out to the ocean. Let's say you're going to go surfing, or you're going to go out on the day. You look at the weather to see what the weather's going to be like. That's all it is. You don't give your power up to the weather when you look outside and see it's a sunny day and you're going to wear a short sleeve shirt. You just look and you say, oh, it's a sunny day, I'm going to wear a short sleeve shirt. Well, same thing with the astrological energies or any of the other, you know, tarot cards or any of these. You're just looking to see how energy is working. That is it. And once you understand how energy is working, it allows you an opportunity to determine how are you going to use that energy. And that's the next phase. So, you know, just to clarify, don't take my word for it. Go do some research on this. I guarantee if you start researching, research the word occult, what that means, and research these different sciences, you'll see that the whole idea, the real idea behind them is not about running or controlling anything. Nobody's life is supposed to be controlled by any of these sciences. However, those that are out there that are charlatans and those who are trying to make you afraid of these energies will tell you those things to keep you away from them. Okay? They'll tell you those things because they don't know any better. They don't understand. And it's just misinformation. That's it. People are just not fully informed, and the more people are informed, the better decisions they can make. That's what I've come to as the decision on this show. After over 2.5 years now, 5 days a week of being here and looking at the patterns, you start to see where thoughts and energies and things are moving out there. And what I find is that there's a lot of good people in the world. But a lot of people are uninformed about what is going on, not for any fault of their own, but because the medias that are supposed to give them the information are misinforming them. And because people have become so trusting of the media organizations, they don't bother to fact check the information that is given to them from the mainstream media. So because there's no fact checking, the mainstream and the media isn't held accountable. And because they're not held accountable, people believe the information and then it just goes on. Well, all you need to do is today spend a little bit of time watching one of the mainstream channels. Take some notes on some things they say, and then go and fact check. And I will guarantee you that you will find inaccurate information being given out on any one of those channels. I guarantee you, every single day they do. Listen to the way they phrase things. Listen to the way they say there's underlying comments. You'll hear it. And once you hear it the first time, you'll be able to pick it out a second, a third, a fourth. It becomes easier and easier because now you know what you're hearing. So, let me move away from that to the next thing. In line here is, this is it's a longer piece. I'm not going to play this whole piece. There's 2 videos here. They're over 30 minutes in length. I'm going to encourage you to go watch them. But I'm going to read this to you, and I'm going to play a little bit of this. A reporter detained, arrested, investigating mysterious explosion that rocked northern Michigan. This is Bob Powell. He was the contributor, the one who the story is about, and you'll see momentarily. At 10 a.m. on Wednesday, the 6th of June, a mysterious explosion shook homes over hundreds of square miles in northeastern Michigan. The ground-shaking explosion was heard from Presque Isle to Lincoln and out west as far as Hillman. The Alpena County Sheriff's Department dispatched deputies to locate the source of the blast, but no cause were ever found. During my investigation of the cause of the explosion, I was arrested, and I attempted to interview the executive secretary at Alpena Combat Readiness Training Center, a woman who had left a message about the blast that very morning. I was simply trying to get her comments on camera, as I have done at military bases all over the country. All right, so now this is where I'm going to jump in here. This is at the, we're jumping in at the 6.5 minute mark here. And Bob just got done having a conversation with a police officer, and he's going to come back, and I'm going to play about 5 minutes or so of this, and I'm going to leave it to you to play on your own and watch the rest of it, because it's very informative.
Yes, no problem, sir. I give your son his driver's license back. There you go, sir.
Thank you.
You have a good day now.
You too.
All right.
Well, that was interesting. I'm getting the hell out of here. I don't know about you, but I need this. My favorite glasses. I use it for all my fruity drinks. Got this when I was entertainment editor of a newspaper down in Florida. From Burt Reynolds to Jupiter Theater. Burt Reynolds, by the way, is an ass. So anyway, let me tell you what happened. I went out to investigate this booming noise. Went to the Sheriff's Department, went to the Alpena Police Department, went to the 9/11 Dispatch Center. I went to NOAA. And then I went to the Alpena Regional Combat Training Center. And, you know, I'm no stranger to being on military bases. When I worked for CBS Radio, I was in charge of NORAD, Peterson Air Force Base, and Fort Carson during Desert Storm. And they had heightened alerts. They weren't, you know, but I had no problem getting on the base. All I would do is, you know, show them my ID, my press pass, and have a good day, sir. Apparently things have changed. I went up to the gate at the Alpena Regional Combat Training Center and gave them my ID so I could get through the gate. And they said, "Park over there, sir." And I did. I went up to the guard shack and I was handcuffed. You know, put down on my knees, legs crossed, you know, whole 9 yards. My first battle scars. And all of a sudden, here come a bunch of Air Force security guys with M4s, and I said, "Okay, you're going to put a bullet in the back of my head now?" But surprisingly, The answer was no. But it turns out that I'm on a list. I can only assume it's because of the work that I've been doing so far. And I'm no longer allowed on military reservations, and apparently I can't even film outside of a military installation because who knows why. Okay, yeah, I wouldn't say interrogated, but I was talked to about, what I was doing there and what my purpose was and all that. And I was held in custody for about 2 hours. The Air Force didn't do anything. They released me to the Sheriff's Department. The Sheriff's Department had a charge that they needed to file. Apparently my driver's license has been suspended in South Carolina. I know you're supposed to get a new driver's license the minute you move to another state. Well, mea culpa, I didn't. But I did have Michigan tags, Michigan license or Michigan registration. So, I thought it was good. Why wouldn't you? Apparently, the reason that my driver's license has been suspended, as told to me by a corrections officer in the jail, was because I no longer had South Carolina insurance. I've never heard of that before. Sounds like a BS excuse, if you ask me. I've got Michigan insurance, but allegedly South Carolina suspended my license because I no longer had South Carolina insurance. Well, but you know what? I have to say that I'm kind of glad that this happened because, number one, it illustrates my point. We're not free in this country anymore. We've lost our 4th Amendment, 5th Amendment, 6th, 8th, and 9th Amendments. Now they're working on the 1st Amendment. And secondly, I got to know a lot of the local police officers. And they're really a bunch of good guys. I spoke with State Patrol today and sheriff's deputies and even the ones that arrested me. They were really nice about it and got absolutely nothing bad to say about our local law enforcement. They were acting on the information that they had, and even though the information is bogus, they were just doing their jobs. So, as far as I'm concerned, me and the county are good. I've got no complaints. These guys, you wouldn't believe how nice they were to me. I handed out my business cards. I said, you guys need to check out my show, because there's going to come a time when you're going to have to choose between doing what you're told and doing what's right. And several of them agreed with me. I don't know if it was just luck or what, but at least 3 of the officers that I spoke with today are Christians. And they know what's coming. They see it. And they understood. And that's why I think that's why they were nice to me. That and the fact that I didn't put up a fuss. I mean, why add to a stupid charge like that with resisting arrest or anything like that? It just doesn't make any sense. So overall, I would say that my experience was an interesting one, to say the least.
This is the UFO News with Joshua Poet.
All right, Dirk. Thank you very much. This is the UFO news for today, and I have 5 stories. Let's get to it. Alright, first story here is a UFO, a daytime UFO from Montreal, Canada on the 6th of June. Witness says, I was hanging out in my back balcony when I noticed a red shape floating in the sky. Deep red color of the object didn't come through very well in the video for some reason, but I could definitely see it. The object was floating back and forth, roughly in a north-south trajectory. Let's check it out. There's our object. It's a pretty good sized one, actually. It's a little bit more oval than we usually see of this type. But there it is, just floating over the city. Alright, next one. Maybe we might get used to seeing more of these around. Flying saucer or drone blocks the ramp in Illinois. This was just the other day on the 10th. A mysterious truckload moved through central Illinois this weekend. The large object spent time at rest along I-57 near Pesodum in Champaign County. State police blocked off the entrance and wouldn't let drivers pull in. Troopers wouldn't say what was behind the white wrapping. We know they were in charge of escorting the load, which is being carried by Diamond Hauling Incorporated. All right, let's take a look at this.
Well, a mysterious truckload kept drivers from taking a rest along I-57. This large object you're about to see spent the day at the rest stop just north of the Pesodum ramp. State police blocked off the entrance and wouldn't let drivers pull in. Troopers wouldn't say what was behind the white wrapping. All we know is they were in charge of escorting the load, which was being carried by Diamond Heavy Haul Incorporated, a company that carries large pieces of equipment. Many people called us today saying it looked like a flying saucer or top secret military plane was parked near the highway.
Very interesting. Now, why would something like that, if that was a top secret military plane, why would that be out there like that? Why wouldn't there be more of an escort? Why wouldn't there be more of an effort to hide it? That's the very bizarre part. Okay, UFO over neighborhood in South Coast, England on June 11th, 2012. There's our object in question. Poor video. Sorry, new phone. Just had to share it. I noticed it as it coasted the house very high. A shiny sphere, maybe metallic. Alright, let's look and see. Where are we at here? Alright, I'm not really seeing anything. Just keep zipping through here. Alright, it's hard to really kind of see. It's very faint. You could see something out here. Alright, I'm going to leave this for you so you can follow the link and look at it yourself and put it into the higher thing so you can really look at it good. Alright, giant UFO on moon seen with telescope. Is this the same UFO as the NASA video? That's the question. What's wanting to be known? This is the one that was currently seen. And this was 1996. See the similarities? Now, 96. And just let me jump real quick over here. Let's see, did they show the OceanX one? Alright, here's this one right here. So we got this one here at the bottom of the ocean in the Baltic Sea they're looking at. And this is on the moon, and this is on the moon. There seem to be some similarities. Okay. Anyway, says, now before you jump to conclusions, know this. This is the same pulsing UFO that was seen February 1996 when hundreds of similar UFOs shot near as the STS-75 mission scientists hoped to deploy the tether to a distance of 20.7 kilometers. Over 19 kilometers of the tether were deployed before the tether broke due to contact with a giant throbbing UFO. The UFO looks biological, may actually be a single living creature that lives in space. Alright. It says here, if water bears can survive in space, then so can other creatures. Eyewitness states, I was filming the moon when it looked like a giant transparent appeared. Alright, let's take a look at this. This is just looking at the moon through a telescope, and look at that. There it is right there. Pretty fascinating, huh? That's up on the moon. Can you imagine you were looking through a telescope and you see that? Looks like a giant kind of Pac-Man going backwards. Alright. And then down, just so you can see, this is what was seen in 1996. Okay, this is the tether as it's going through. Alright. There's the tether. Where's the UFO in here? I'm thinking we're going to see it pretty soon or something. Well, those aren't it. There we go. Is that it? A lot of things flying through here. There it is, right there. Okay. So, we got that one there, and then we had the one up above it here in the moon. Let me back this up just a hair. Alright, so we see we got a very similar looking thing there between this one and this one. 2012, 1996. I'd say they look pretty similar. Alright, check it out. Let me know what you think. Send me an email. firstcontactradio@yahoo.com. Alright, and now here, this is our last UFO report update on the OceanX team. So we got SpaceX and we got OceanX. All these X's out there. Generation X. Alright. We are supposed to be getting news or a press release this week on the OceanX team findings. We have heard from a source that the apparently close to the crew that it will be an amazing story. Very strong word indeed. We are told that the OceanX team made a trip back to dry land to take on fuel to restock supplies this past Sunday. By all accounts, they were taking advantage of their time at the docks, meeting with a few friends and having a few drinks. There has really been no mainstream media coverage, which is rather surprising since this story has all the components of a great novel. We are not sure if this is by design or if there is a specific reason the media seems to have gone quiet on this ocean adventure. At some point, you can be sure the media will take note of the story. It will most likely take off as they see how much interest from around the globe it has garnered. Best way to follow the action of the OceanX team is on their Facebook page, but apparently was so overburdened with the new members that it crashed. I believe it is now up and running, and you can join the conversation. Okay, we're going to go down here and do a recap. This is a recap of what they've determined so far. There are 3 objects of interest. The main circular anomaly, a smaller secondary object like a Gothic church window 200 meters away, and a 90-foot high and 900-foot wide rock outcrop with a crack running through it some 1,500 meters south. The team have stated that they are not really interested in the second anomaly, although the reason for this is unclear, given that it may be a fragment of the main anomaly that broke off on impact. The objects lie in a 80 to 85 meter depth of water. Visibility is 2 to 3 feet maximum. The object is 60 meters, approximately 200 feet wide, roughly equivalent to the wingspan of a Boeing 747. The main circular anomaly is not a rock formation. Russia and U.S. Navy ships are not looking for the object, nor are they blocking the OceanX team. This is unsubstantiated rumor. So we'll keep our eyes on that story to see what's going on, what they're finding out there. Pretty interesting. All right, let's jump away to our song. We'll wake up. I'll be back. I got a lot more news, and I have an interview coming up. This is an interview with Denis DENOCLA, UFO researcher. That'll be coming up momentarily. Stay tuned.
What if our government was responsible for some of the greatest crimes against this nation? Would you really want to know? These are big questions, but these questions deserve answers. It's time to demand the truth.
People shouldn't be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of
9/11 was an inside job. Kennedy was killed by the CIA. Jimmy Carter saw UFO. Answers to secrets you need to know. So wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Patriots arise. It's time to demand the truth.
It is time to demand the truth every day. Time to demand the truth now. Okay, so in this last piece you heard, you saw Bob talking about his experience. Pretty intense, don't you think? And there's going to be more people going through this experience, unfortunately. Now, Bob is someone who's been out there as a journalist for a while. He told you some of his experiences and some of his past working with the news. And yet, despite all of that, despite knowing all that he has learned, he experienced firsthand. And it seemed to be a bit shocking to him, even though he experienced it firsthand. Imagine now if he did not have all of the experience that he had, which many Americans don't have. They would really be like a deer caught in headlights. So, it's good. It sucks that happens. Sorry that it happened to you, Bob. But as he says, he's glad that he did because he got to know some people that are involved and got to talk to the police. And, it's important people pay attention, especially the police. Now, this is directed to you because he made comments in there that at one point you were going to have to make some decisions about some things. And I want you to see this story right here. Indiana legalizes shooting cops. Okay? Now, last month, or at the end of last month, Mitch Daniels, the governor of Indiana, was at the Bilderberg meeting that took place in Chantilly, Virginia. Okay? So, how does that play into this? I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there so you keep that in the back of your head. People at the Bilderberg meetings end up being involved with things that end up hurting the public. Anyway, Indiana legalizes shooting cops. Hold on to your holsters, folks. Shooting a cop dead is now legal in the state of Indiana. Governor Mitch Daniels, a Republican, has authorized changes in the 2006 legislation that legalizes the use of deadly force on a public servant, including an officer of the law, in cases of unlawful intrusion. Opponents of both the Second and Fourth Amendments, those that allow for the ownership of firearms and the security against unlawful searches, respectively, are celebrating the update by saying it ensures that residents are protected from authorities that abuse the power of the badge. Others fear that the alleged threat of police state emergencies will be replaced by all-out war zone in Indiana. So, if you're a police officer out there, you now should be seeing and understanding this isn't just going to be going on here. People are stepping up. They're getting angry with all of the abuse. I know that not all of the police officers are abusing your power. I know that. But the ones that are giving a bad name. And the ones that have been the ones on why this legislation gets pushed through. Because people have had enough. So, this legislation in Indiana, legalizing the ability to shoot the police if they over-abuse their power, guess who put that into place? Guess why that happened? It came in place because of you, the police officers. Because of the bad guys that are in your agency that are abusing their power. For that reason, fortunately, somebody had the sense to allow the people to protect themselves. So, if you, police officers, continue to allow bad apples into your departments, I'm going to guess we're going to see more of these because there are people who are going to find that they need to be protected. So if you as the police officers don't want to be in this situation, you need to turn in the bad apples in your department. You need to turn in the corrupt officers because all that's going to happen is they're going to end up getting you in a bad situation you don't want to be in. Because the people of America and around the world are stepping up. And if you, police officers, don't step up with them and don't join with the people, you're going to find yourself through the guilt of association on the wrong side of the fence. And you're going to find yourself in situations that you're not going to want to be in. So going back to what Bob says, there's going to be a time when you're going to have to decide between what you're told and what is right. So please pay attention because this is very important for you guys, police officers, to understand. Now, moving right along here. Obama campaign launches first ad targeting black voters. President Barack Obama's re-election campaign is launching its first ad specifically aimed at black voters. A national radio spot entitled "We've Got Your Back," a campaign aide confirmed on Yahoo. The Grippo first reported the news. 4 years ago we made history. Now it's time to move forward and finish what we started together. We have to show the president we have his back. The bass voice narration set over a drum track. Obama crushed Senator McCain among black voters in 2008 and is sure to trounce Mitt Romney in 2009 in that constituency. But Democrats are leaving little chance to an election defined by the weak economy, including stubbornly high jobless rates, and need black voters to turn out in large numbers. So, to all of you out there who are black, they appear to be targeting you because they think that all they have to do is show you a video that Obama is on your side because you got the same skin color, and they're expecting that you're going to vote for him again. Is that what's going to happen? Or are there more disgruntled people out there that really are seeing past this color thing they're trying to do? You see, this administration keeps saying that people are racist because everyone that's trying to speak out against them, and you know, they're just really giving a bad reputation to this country and the nonsense they're doing. I mean, what's going to happen next? Is Romney going to come out with a video now specifically going towards white folks? Is that what it is? Are we getting down to races, or we're going to specifically target different races with our videos and things? I mean, come on now. This is coming from the administration. This is how racist they are. Yet they're trying to make it seem that you are the racist ones. No. The administration has the problem, okay? Just because Obama got in office, nothing changed. If anything, racism became worse because as things turned out, he appears to be pointing the finger more and doing more harm than good. And it's confusing the country. We should come together. We're all the same people on this planet. I mean, just think, if right now there's a problem dealing with blacks or whites or Mexicans, or it's not even races, it's colors, browns and whites. If we're having trouble down here dealing with that, what's going to happen when you face a being from another world who isn't any of the colors of those down here? Are you instantly going to think they're someone bad? Or are you going to give them the benefit of the doubt because you don't know who they are? You got to stop judging people by the color of their skin. You got to stop doing things because of the color of their skin, because everyone down here is a person. Doesn't matter what color your skin is. We're all here together. We're all in this here together. So people who are talking about this nonsense are just spreading disinformation and lies, and actually they're spreading hatred. So stop with the hatred. Love each other. We're all in this together. One big family down here on Earth. Let's get the idiots out, though. Let's get the Obama idiots and the Romney idiots and all the idiots that are out there with the racism. Let's get them out. We don't need them. Nonsense. Now, I'm going to turn back to this crop circle here. I'm going to play a few minutes of this, and then we're going to get to our interview. 6/9/2012, there was the crop circle I showed you, this one here. Okay? Now, there's a video here. I've got it queued up for just a little bit of playing from 32 Degrees of Insanity. And this, well, here, you just listen for yourself.
A brand new crop circle appears over Woodborough Hill, Alton Barnes in Wiltshire on 6/9/2012 that matched the mystery Nibiru lights that appeared next to a passenger plane in Australia and in California. The full report. All right, so in the UK, we have these brand new crop circles that just appeared. Now, we're going to go into all of this here real quick, but I do want to show you some of the stuff that it matches up. Here are some of the pictures of it. Of course, there is the matchup of the Avery Hill one as well. This all appeared on June 9th, and they match up specifically, as you can see right here. These dots all match up to the 7 dots that are in the spiral here into the S formation here. But what I want you to focus on right here is, because we've seen this before as well, here is a winged object with a planet, all right? So here, this is a message that's being revealed. Now here on Wise Telescope, I'm going, let's see if I can actually get them both in the same frame for you. Okay, kind of. As you can see, there is the eye right there with a planet right there, and then you have the 7 planets going down like a serpent right here with a ship leading the way. This is a Wise Telescope image that I have shown you before. Now also, when you take a look at what I showed you back in 219 and also 3.5, you see that the eye is there very specific with that center right there to that center, and the eye, and then of course with 3.5 you see it all centered as well, and actually squares out, actually kind of looks like a heavy mass object, like they converse into one specific area. Now, when I showed you, on my new article right here, first real images of Planet X supersystem, the official public release of a heavy mass object that has been suppressed by NASA, Nibiru system equals ISS ELC 20049 DNY. I show you this object right here, all right? Now, it almost looks like a planet, and when you scan on down to where I show you this thing, these images look, I mean, literally looks like a planet, does it not? Well, it is. What it is we are looking deep in the sky, and actually this is a bend of a system. This is a bend of light, all right? This is the entire system. Of course, we see our kite formation down here. We see a heavy mass object following here, and then I believe that this, when the system does finally come together, it creates this large object right here, which will become a large planet or possible black hole. Now, I did put a new picture on here which shows you the bending of light of this system. But I want you to pay particular close attention to right here. One of the reasons why we're not able to see the brown dwarf is because there's something, a large UFO or something to that nature, blocking it. And I'm going to get into that a little quicker here as we talk about this crop circle, because what I did is I wanted to see where Woodborough Hill and Bates was, so I just Wikipedia'd it, and it's actually in the Vale of Poussey. I don't want to say, you know what, so what I did is I actually just Googled it, and here we go. We get the coordinates here, 51.352, 1.851. All right, so we put that into GeoHack. There we go, the Vale right there. We kind of take a look at some of the areas. Then we just grab the coordinates, all right? So actually I busted those into Y's, and look at what we get, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then some sort of object right here. And here you can see it, and there you can see the ship-looking thing right there.
All right, very fascinating. So, as you can see, there's something going on there. Now, the video itself is 52 minutes in length, and we don't have time today to play it, but the link is available to watch it. I didn't start at the beginning, so I'm going to encourage you to go back and watch this video. Very informative, excellent research, and excellent research. All right, so this brings us now to next item up for bid, which is our interview with Dennis DENOCLA. He's a UFO researcher, author, filmmaker, and producer. So here we go. Let me get to this interview here, all about UFOs and the UMO. There we go. Welcome to First Contact Radio. I'm here with Dennis DENOCLA. He is a UFO researcher. He's an author. He's a video maker. He's all around UFO guy from France, and he has written a book called Presence about the UMO, and he is here today. We're going to talk about the UMO, about his book, about his videos, and the other projects he has going on. So, Dennis, welcome to First Contact Radio. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for you, Josh, and I'm very glad to talk with you from Paris tonight. And yes, I produce the video of the book presents. The subtitle is UFO, Crop Circle, and Exo-Civilization. And I presented this movie in LA in February, and also in Phoenix, Arizona, and also in New Jersey. And I usually go to Roswell to present my work. And I'm very glad to talk about this with you. So the main results I present are about the crop circles. I'm able to identify the crop circle makers, and I give a whole explanation how I can do this and how we calculate the star where the crop circle makers are coming from. That's the first point. The second point is I gather many information about something called the UMO file, and I will explain what is the UMO file. That's many information that I gather, and I'm able to describe 18 ET species with many details. Of course, there are more, but at least I have many information about those species. And I also get results and explanation about the UFO travels. I'm able to explain how they travel along the cosmos. And for this, I get the information on a new cosmology that make us able to explain the UFO travels. So with this new cosmology, we can also understand what is the black matter, what is the dark matter, the dark energy. So we have many answers on many topics that usually we are still wondering what are such a thing. So it's very useful to study the UFO file to get answers on the UFO topics. That's the
okay. Okay, and how long have you been studying the UMO files?
I was studying the UMO files since 2004, 3-4. It was a very strange story because a boss of mine, become my friend later, was involved in UFO, and we talked about UFOs, and I remember that he told me about some strange letters that he gathers with some other people involved in UFO. And this guy, he's a very high level guy, graduate in many French and American schools, and the best school in France, and they have done a small group, working group on this topic, and they gather strange letters in south of France, in Spain, and he was not very comfortable talking about those letters because for him, on this group in the 70s, they understand that there is something special with those letters that they don't really understand. That's what he told me. It was about the 90s when he told me about this. On some 10 years later, what happened is something very strange. I was just googling on internet to get some information on the UFOs, and for the 100 billion website you have, I found one talking about letters, UFO letters.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just open, this website just began its work. We were just 5-6 people on the list, on the working list, and I discovered what the main guy have done. He have collected the UFO letters from another guy who had the real letters, and he scanned the letters and he put them on the website. So I was able to read the scan of the letters, the UFO letters, that I in fact did not know that they were UFO letters. When my old friend told me about those letters, he did not tell me they are UFO letters, but I understood when I saw this website that it was the same thing that my friend told me 10 years ago. And I called him straight and asked him, "Oh, Daniel, can you give me some copy of the letter you told me, that the mysterious letter you get?" And in fact, I have seen that the letter he had was the same that the other guy had put on the website, and I began to work on this same letter because all the questions I had at this moment, I get some answers with the reading of the whole letter that we gathered on this website. So it was really quite magic, some magic weeks, because the very difficult answers on the travels, on the cosmology, I get some answers through those letters, and that was very great moment to get such information that can explain something you are looking, you are searching for years.
Awesome. So it's
it was very special, those letters, because those letters that have been sent to many people, many scientists, mostly on UFO guy, in France, in Spain, some in Italy, in UK, and we think so for the information we have inside the letters themselves. It should have been sent some letters also in America, in Russia, in some place in Asia. So, but at least we gathered the French and Spanish one for some 1,400 letters, 1,400 pages that have been sent to many different people.
That's quite a lot.
Yeah, that's quite a lot. And during the first letters have been sent in the 60s, and the last letters have been received in France in 2009.
Okay.
So, wow.
That's a lot of information. And so then the movie is about these letters as well. So you have a book and a movie that are all based on the information from these letters.
Yes, the great information that I get with the letters, and that made me able to work on several topics. For example, in those letters, I get an information very important for me. One of the letters said, we know, they say, we know who are the guy who are the crop cycle makers. They are also ETs. We know those people, and we agree with this experimentation of communication. And it's amazing that some human people can believe that some pranksters can do such a thing in your crops. Of course, there are ETs that make them, and we know the ET species who make them. So that was a great information.
That is.
And I wonder, oh, is it true or is it fake?
Right.
So I began to work on the crop cycles because before to read this, I did not even believe that crop cycle can be made by ETs. I just believed that it was really prankster. I was myself not the believer in the crop cycles, and I started to believe to work on the crop farm crop cycle, the one where we have a ET phase, a very big and very detailed ET phase that the people usually say gray, but for me gray means nothing. I will explain why gray means nothing for me. And this great phase with many details have also a disc nearby, and we know that this disc also have a code, which is a usual ASCII code like usual CD, and we know the message on the CD. That is the element that we have to begin to work. And the second crop cycle I study especially is this crop cycle of Chilbolton. The Chilbolton crop cycle, which is a very known crop cycle because it's the answer of the message of Arecibo message. The Arecibo message sent in 1974 from the Arecibo telescope. And the amazing stuff is that in 2001 we get the answer of the Arecibo message in a crop nearby the Chilbolton Observatory in Great Britain. That's an amazing joke. We can't say. How can someone give an answer in a crop when you send a message in the cosmos with a telescope? That's amazing. So those crops was very interesting for me, and I noticed that the Cropwood Farm 1 and the Chilbolton 1 get both a representative small guy, that's the we usually call grays. And the small guys were in the both crop circle. The crabwood farm guy, we can calculate that he is around 1 meter high. And in the Chilbolton crop circle, we have the picture and the measurement inside the code that the people who have made the answer of the Arecibo message at Chilbolton are 1 meter high. I found that it is strange that both the crop circle of Crabwood Farm, we have a guy of 1 meter, and in the code of Chilbolton, of the crop circle of Chilbolton, we also have a small guy 1 meter tall. That's very strange. So I still study both crop circles, and the both crop circles are very nearby. They are nearby 1 kilometer, 1 mile, or something like that. And whatever, when you come by plane, you can see both the Crabwood Farm and the Chilbolton one by plane, and they are very big, and you can see them both. However, they have been done a few days. One was 1 day, and the other one have been done the next day or a few days after. But for the same week, you can have the same picture with the both one. And I was looking for some details on the Crabwood Farm crop circle, and someone asked me, because when I give lecture, people, in the beginning I give lecture on UFO, and some people ask me for the Crabwood Farm study I was doing. What is that for UFO nearby the picture of the Crabwood Farm guy? And I was wondering, no. What UFO can do there? That's UFO. Talking with my friend publisher on these, when we were preparing at the last moment the book, we were, no, that's not UFO. That might be some planets.
You're talking about the ones that are down by the chin of the face.
Yes.
Okay.
The 4 point, and nearby the small guy. In fact, when we realize that they are not UFO but planets that they represent on these crop circles, you can see what? You can see one planet on the left, and if you imagine an orbit, maybe around the CD, we can imagine the CD is a star, and we can imagine the orbit of the planet around this star. And you can see that we have on the first orbit, on the right, 1 planet, in the middle, 2 planets on the same orbit. That's very important. And on the left, outside, another planet in another orbit, but still nearby. And when you look at the Chilbolton crop circle, what can you see? There is one part where the code describes the solar system where our friends from our space friends are coming from. And what can we see there? We can see a star on 10 planets. And at the middle of the planet system that they describe, what we can see 4 planets. Oh, wow. 4 planets and 2 planets on the same orbit. That reminds me something. That reminds me the Crabwood Farm 1. And if you look, really compare both, you really can think that the 4 planets of the Crabwood Farm 1 are also the 4 planets that are in the Chilbolton code. That's very interesting, because we also have 2 guys who have 1 meter high. That's many common points, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So I follow my work, and I have in mind also the UMO letters saying that we know who are the guys who are the complete cycle makers. So there are only 1 species that make the crop maker for this point of view. So
Okay.
I follow to try to get information on those crop cycles.
Mm-hmm.
And I was interested to imagine where they are coming from. How can we calculate where they are coming from? And I wonder, we sent the Arecibo message in 1974. And we sent it in a special way. We sent the message, the Arecibo message in 1974, in the Hercules constellation with a very narrow angle, the M30 constellation. So I wonder if we have an answer, the guy who gave us an answer in the Chilbolton crop, they might be in this direction. They receive the message of Arecibo because they are in this narrow direction. But how long the message traveled because before they received the message from Arecibo.
Mm-hmm.
So I have some friends astronomers, and we have this idea. We have the crop circles since the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So we get the message only in 2001. Why we have, if we take the hypothesis that the guy who are the crop circle makers are on Earth since the 90s doing the crop circles, why do they do the Chilbolton answer only in 2001? They should have made the Chilbolton answer when they get the message and came on Earth in the 90s when they began to do the crop circles. So what's up with that?
That's a good question.
I think so that they wait to give the Chilbolton answer. And they wait what? They wait 2001, which is the time, space you need for the message to travel from Earth to their planet.
Okay.
And they just make the Chilbolton crop just in time for us to calculate how long the travel was for the message since 1974 from Arecibo.
That's quite fascinating. So you said that you're out doing lectures now, Dennis?
Say again?
Are you out on the road? Like, where can people see you?
Oh, yeah. Sure. I have a tour in France. That's what you are saying.
Yes.
Yes, I have a tour in France. I always have 10 meetings and lecture in France, and I follow in several other towns in France. And I'm going to present the movie also in Great Britain and Liverpool at least, and several other towns in Great Britain. For now, I'm still working on Europe, and I prepare also the Spanish version to present it in Spain first for October and November, and I'm very happy of that, to give also the information in Spanish language, because I know that Mexican people also are very interested in the UFO topic, and that would be great to give it.
Well, you sound quite busy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I will come back in USA, in America, as soon as possible, of course.
Okay, and your website is DENOCLA.com?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Well, very good, Dennis. Well, it's been a pleasure having you on the show.
The pleasure was mine, and
we'll have to talk again, and we'll do another interview, and we'll talk about more information.
Yes, it was a very great moment to spend a few minutes with you, Josh, and I would say hello to every Californian people, at least, and I love California, and I will be in California as soon as possible.
Very good. All right, Dennis. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Josh.
Welcome to first. All right, there you go. That is our interview with Dennis DENOCLA. And as you can see, I put up a bunch of pages here for you to look at. This is his website. We got crop circle pages talking about the face in Crabwood, and then of course more information on Chilbolton, and then here's a lot of information as well. So there's a lot of other links online studying these particular things, looking at these anomalies, so you can check it out. Easy to find. Alright, so you have it. Maybe during the course of this, later this week, before we end, I'll play a little bit from one of Dennis's movies. Let me show you here before we jump into this. He's got this book, Presence. This is his book, and of course there's the video that he made, Presence, on this, and he also did a CD of alien-based music. There's 2 tracks on here that I did, and then there's a number of tracks by various other artists on this. So check out his stuff, check out his material about the UMO, and follow the trail of research, and you might find some really interesting things. Alright, let's jump into our meditation for today. Close your eyes, relax. Close your eyes and relax. Now, I'd like you to imagine that you are walking down a path, and as you walk down this path, looking up into the sky at all the planets and the stars, you're reminded about how you fit into this universe, your place in the universe. And you realize in the big picture how small we actually are, yet how necessary we are, because we are all a piece of this puzzle called life. And so as you contemplate life and contemplate your position in life, you begin to understand what it is you are to do, why you are here. And the more you understand your purpose, the more you're able to understand your purpose. It becomes clearer and clearer. So go ahead and open up your hearts. Open up your third eye. Allow yourself to receive the information from the cosmos. Allow that information to go in and remind you of the reasons why you are here and what you are here to do. Let's imagine sending out love from our heart chakra all around the planet to each and every individual, and imagine love coming back to you and feel what that feels like to have love being sent from all over the place. Alright, now let's bring our energy and attention back to the present moment, and as we do, let's just think a good thought for everyone in the world today. And just hold that intention as we go through. Bring ourselves back to the present moment. 3, coming back to the present moment filled with confidence. 2, coming back to the present moment filled with faith. And 1, coming back to the present moment happy, healthy, and whole. Happy, healthy, and whole. Alright, there you have it. We've made it through another show, prayer, meditation, and all of the other news. So, that's it. Follow the links today. They'll give you some good leads, some good information to follow. Read up more about what Dennis is talking about, and the UMO, and all the other good stuff. Alright, just keep paying attention out there, my friends. The world is not ending today or anytime in the near future. So we need to keep paying attention to what's going on. I know there's a lot of nonsense in the world, but we can rise above it. We just have to keep rising above it. That's it. Have that intention to rise above it, and we shall. The truth shall win out in the end, my friend. The truth shall win out. Remember, we're all in this together. We're all going to get through it together. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace. I'm out of here.